Thank you for staying with us on our program, Going Beyond. I'm going to continue my discussion with Colonel, as he likes to be called. Now, Colonel, tell me something. You were talking about your future plans. Let's quickly elaborate on what exactly you were saying just now about what you plan to do in the future.
I said that each of these verticals have got huge and enormous possibilities within them. They are driven well by the existing management. So they are all looking for growth within the individual verticals. So as of now, as I said, we are not planning to diversify more than these 5 verticals, which
Right.
are also fairly diverse, as
Indeed,
you can see.
absolutely, yes. When you look back on your own career over these past few years since you left the Army, is there any one thing you'd like to say to somebody who might want to follow your same path?
Yes, I would like to, for young entrepreneurs, entrepreneurship is the need of the hour in our country. There is, the government can only generate so much of employment. So that's one thing that we set up, you must work towards a higher ideal always when you set up your firm. Like we set up our group with the ideal of poverty alleviation by employment generation.
You're doing that obviously with 8,000 employees.
Yes. So similarly, you should have a higher ideal towards which you work. When you work towards on a slightly higher ground, then you're likely to, be able to face up to the uncertainty that always lies in the business environment better.
Right.
The other things I'd like to tell new entrepreneurs is, please plan in detail. Before you step into anything, it's either something that you've been doing or working that particular line, you have some experience. So do something that is aligned with your nature, the way you are. So you're always in front of a buffet. So choose the particular line that you would want to work in wisely, and then plan in great detail. Meticulous planning is required. And thereafter, the second thing which I say always is that set up a pilot project. That pilot project should be representative of the entire business and the opportunity, and it should have within it the potential for scaling up later. But work on a pilot project which is representative, and so that tomorrow you want to look at investment coming in, so they can see the opportunity, they can see the potential of what you're doing, and whether it's angel investment or venture capital, at an appropriate time, they would be willing to invest in you because you have thought through everything and you have covered all your bases. Right. So do look at these 2 aspects, and the moment you realize that you are now probably barking up the wrong tree, or you are onto a wrong line of business that probably doesn't have a future, have the flexibility to immediately change direction.
And have the courage, I suppose, to pull out as well. You spew so much calm wisdom at me today here in the studio. It really is quite amazing. What about your colleagues in the services? Is there any wisdom you'd like to impart to them via this program? I mean, what's the way they can go forward? What do you think? What would you like to be saying to people who might be watching you today?
Well, that's a really important question, Jennifer, because I was in the Army and I've seen that retirement is not a good word. I feel it should be re-attirement.
Nice way of putting it, yes.
You have to re-attire for the future, because we tend to retire fairly early in.
Much too early, I think, frankly, yes.
And, on one day, one date can't determine that today you're fully functional and tomorrow you have nothing to do. So you have to prepare for the transition, and within all of us there lies a second innings. And so what you need to do is you have to prepare for your educate yourself. If you're looking at corporate life, whether you want to work within the corporate sector, then you have to get yourself educated. So some time you have to take without impinging on your professional time, but some time you have to take. We normally get 2 months leave in the Army. You can get study leave. So you can prepare yourself with good education in something that you would like to do. So do prepare yourself so that the transition is not sudden.
Indeed.
And you are already prepared that, okay, now this, and then I'll take a small sabbatical, set my family affairs, and then this is what I would like to be, an entrepreneur, or work in a corporate setup, or go into another governmental sector. But you must look at re-retirement.
Right, because retirement can sometimes be a very frightening thought about what am I going to do with myself after this? What will I do? Play golf every day? Go somewhere? What am I going to do?
Absolutely.
You know, and but the army doesn't really prepare people for retirement, or does it? Am I getting it wrong?
Well, we have a resettlement directorate where you can apply, and then, you know, like a man guarding services company, they provide you with one business. Suppose you register with them. So there are certain schemes. Then you also have a resettlement course that you can undergo, you know.
Oh, really?
That is in the year before you are retiring. You can take up that. That is for a period of a month or 2 months. I'm not sure of what exactly it is.
Right.
But so there are a lot of initiatives. You must play a second innings.
I completely agree with that, yes.
You know, that's my strong advice to my colleagues, and
I like that very much. I like that very much.
To those who are on the verge of retirement,
right.
Yes.
I also know that privately you do a lot of good work as well. May I spell it out? 33 villages. You look after 33 villages. Can I draw you out on that if you don't mind, and tell me what it is?
Yes, you know, we found in the rural segment, you know, when we wanted to work as part of our corporate social responsibilities, so early on as the profitability improved, we set up a corporate social responsibility division. And so we decided to go into the rural sector, and there we found that, you know, the government has got a lot of schemes for children in terms of midday meal and so on. But there is the constituency of destitutes. Today, rural destitutes are quite a large number in the villages. And these destitutes are caused by the fact that, you know, the children after education leave and go to the cities.
Right.
And then the parents are left behind, and normally there's a large age gap between the father and the mother.
Correct.
And they have small land holdings. So when the father passes away, normally the lady is left destitute, and there are not anybody to take care of them. So we decided to adopt 33 villages we have adopted so far from 2011. And so we provide them with one wholesome meal every day with corporate efficiency.
This is an amazing way, really, of giving back. And I know corporate social responsibility is one thing, but I think the area that you're actually touching on is an amazing area, because that is true that the older people out in the rural areas do have a lot of problems. What else do you do, Colonel? What about a little bit of leisure? I mean, I know you did say you work 12 hours a day. So how many hours of the day do you play? Any at all?
Well, for me, Jennifer, it's just a combination of work and my family life. We are 5 of us in our family. I got my son is also married, and our new daughter Niyati is again a delight, and she has joined us. And so Renuka and these 3 children. So I find just enough time. So we normally in the evenings we play a round of badminton together.
Okay.
And
I think you have an amazing life. It's been my very, very great pleasure to talk to somebody like you. May I confess that Colonel here has been an inspiration to me. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you so much, Jennifer.
I do appreciate
it's really
your time.
a pleasure and privilege to be with you.
I appreciate your time.
Well,
that's all we have time for here on Going Beyond. I do hope that you have enjoyed listening to our guest today. I think he's an amazing and incredible person. And I do hope we're going to be able to call Colonel David back into our studio one day again, perhaps when he has another 5 companies. So until the next time, you take care. Bye for now.